Hello, everyone, and we will be starting right off as I finally got the connection back perfectly on time to see one of the closest matches according to the community, which is owopipi against Gangshit, two of the teams which have been predicted to finish around mid-table before the season, and they've already had a few games. We'll go further into details, maybe between the periods, as I will also then get a look at standings. But for now, we'll have to focus on the match, as like I've said, due to some little errors on my end that weren't really my issue. I mean, I had the issue, but I wasn't the one who caused it. I'm a bit late, but just on time to see this beautiful match. In owopipi, we have Craquinho in net, Pepe in DM, Joyboy, also known as Isco, as the midfielder, and their newest signing, Jekan, as a striker. Do they have anyone on the bench? There is Modon, who will be ready to play if needed. While for the Gangshit team, we've got SC30 in net, and then the French trio that you could see together during Summer Cup, which is Dolly Prun, Sosa, and Furia. So it seems like they are prepared for the game, and will be interesting to see the outcome. As I said, this followed by community, as Pepe has almost made a mistake that led to a goal, was expected to be a really close match. And if I'm honest, I think this will be a game without many goals. I reckon there will be like two or more, but wait, maybe now Jekan, he misses it. He's had the time, he's had the space, but he didn't even put it on target. So SC30 did not need to make a save. And speaking of lineups, now a decent attack by owopipi, but I've mentioned the starting lineup for Gangshit, but they also have two players ready in bench waiting to be subbed on if needed, which are KLK and Avr or AVR. However, I meant to say that Cracknell with a save, although that seemed pretty safe. And in the first half of the first period, it seems like Gangshit was the team that was a bit more dominating, but the biggest chance we've seen was obviously the Jekan one-on-one, which he didn't even put on target. But now 2v1, surely they can score, and it's a save by Crack. What a bad play from Sosa there. Going for the ego, not passing, but we have a goal on the other side, and it's Isco who puts it in with Jekan making the assist. And yeah, the French team has collapsed, you could say, but now it's a save by Crack, as they had the two on GK incredible opportunity, but they all went far forward, same like now, but this time Jekan passed it too far backwards. We could have seen a repeat of Jekan assist and Isco goal, but at least not yet. And yeah, they've messed it up. Then there was the instant counter. Crack with double save there. He will be making a lot of saves, it seems, at least based on the start of this match. Seems like Pepe isn't doing crazy well, but he's got time to fix this up. And luckily for him, he didn't pay the price for those little mistakes. 1 minute left in the first period. Pepe in defense holding Sosa. Jekan trying to find the space, which shouldn't be hard, but oh my god, again! Gangshit had the space for the attack, but they messed it up even before taking a shot this time. They're playing so aggressively. Now Furia one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He takes a shot. It wasn't the best one, but it was decent, and Craquinho saves it. Jekan now with the push on Sosa. If Gangshit had the better finishing, we could be seeing them in the lead. But And the reality is they are losing 1-0 right now. Dolly Prune on his own in defense against Jekan and Isco. But now they will be going on one more attack before the end of the period. Will Pepe kick it out? He didn't. They are still on the ball. Now Sosa looking for Furia. He keeps it in. Oh my god! Dolly Prune flew away as Jekan takes 1-1, and it is a save by SC30. And before any crying about what happened in that situation, I always back the rule that if someone is lagging or has a lag, keep on playing, and then if it's clear that he lagged and because of that there was like a possibly goal, and then you should give fair play if needed, but you shouldn't stop a potential 1-1 because of it. So the first period has ended. A little bit of team talk for owopipi, it seems. And this is a match for round 3, I believe. Let me quickly check that. Because it was announced for the captains. It is round 3, okay. So I've got a bit of stats and as I was preparing. And quickly looking through them, Crack was selected by 4 people in fantasy. SC30 was picked only once, and it was by me. So maybe I will be slightly biased towards him. But he's had few saves, but did concede, unfortunately for me. As we go back into the game, so maybe we'll have a look at some more info later on. But there's a post by Dolly Prune, so maybe I can quickly check some more. Scrolling down to defenders, Dolly Prune was picked once, and Pepe was selected once by himself, and he put a captain on himself as well. So that's pretty brave, but at the moment the point return seems to be not so bad, keeping the clean period. We're back into the game though, and Modon is now on for Jekan, and it will be interesting to see if he plays the striker role or if Isco is gonna move a bit further forward like they've done in the first round, where they've won 4-0 against, I think, Cavaliers it was, but now Furia with a chance. It's a save by Crack again. Isco to Pepe. Pepe could not play it out, unfortunately. Crack in a corner, waits for Furia to kick it away. Gangshit now in possession. Trying to play it out. Modon with the high press, but the block was not on target. Dolly Prune plays well past Modon, but the pass was awful there. Now Sosa. Looking for that team play. Modon's covering Furia. Pepe holds it on the wall. Nice attempt by Gangshit there. Can they end up with a shot? Oh, they had the position for it, but in the end, Sosa could not time the X. As Dolly Prune leaves a message in the chat, clearly being annoyed about no shot being taken, but it's a save by Crack now after another mistake by Pepe, and Sosa has a spot. It's a save by Crack once again. For me, at the moment, he might be the man of the match, but obviously we're not even halfway through the game. Pepe is not looking good, but luckily for him, his GK arrived on time. Pepe on the ball this time. He passed well as Modon tried to go for that camping one-on-one, but did not position it quite as needed. Halfway through the second period now. Sosa playing it back with Dolly Prune. Once again, the forward to Dolly pass back is seen really often, but we don't see it as often after when it comes to what Dolly does with the pass to his teammate to get that shot on target. Pepe blocks. Now Furia. Oh, he didn't kick it. Sosa, another pass back to Dolly. This is a good team play, but again, the precision isn't quite there, and they don't get those shots. And if they do, Crack is there to save it. Great pass by Furia, but unfortunately Sosa was behind the net rather than in the middle. A lot of space, but it's a save by Crack. He hit it towards Sosa, but he couldn't get a shot back. But now, oh my god, so much space for Gangshit in there. But they just can't find themselves. Or if they do, Crack is there to save it. Sosa, blocked by Isco. Last minute of the second period. They struggle to get it off the wall and going forward. Maybe now another long shot and yet another save by Crack. Maybe now Modon, can he go with it? Goes off the wall, but it's a save by SC30. I'm not sure if most of the players would attempt to kick it to the wall rather than actually try to block themselves and go one-on-one. But it was a right idea, I reckon, just needed a little better angle. Pepe and Sosa now holding it. This could be the last attack. Can he keep it? Oh, he did. He just blocked it and stayed at the wall and held it behind net to finish the second period. So now that we've got the ends, let's go into forwards. And now this is where we should be seeing a lot more names. And we've got Sosa and Furia. Sosa was not picked by anyone, while Furia was selected by only one player who, again, is me. So, yeah, I might be rooting for a goal for overtime at least. But then, interestingly, Jekan, who's only been added to the database, is already selected. He ironically was picked twice for round 3. And wait, this is round 3. Why was I checking round 4? Oh, apologies for that. It's so confusing because I've already played the third round, so I thought this was the fourth, but obviously it's the third. Jekan is picked twice then, Furia is once by me, so that doesn't change, but someone has Sosa in their team as well. Isco is selected twice, and none of them were put as captain. Pepe is selected 4 times for this round, and he did captain himself still as the only player. Dolitron selected once, and I can't check the goalies because we started the game. And there is the change in the owopipi lineup as now Jekan comes on for Isco. So now we'll see whether Pepe keeps the clean sheet. Sosa playing it behind the net, looking for Dolly, but Jekan stays close to him. As soon as puck goes towards there, maybe now Jekan didn't even get a shot. It just bounced off him, but it will count as safe for SC. Same like this shot will count as safe for Crack. But maybe now Jekan, oh, that was awful turn. Like he just decided to go backwards for some reason. Now another attempt of the Jekan assist, but the pass was a bit too soft, so Modon couldn't quite get the shot. Dolly threw on the wall to Sosa, who, oh my god, what's he doing? He just went to the wall again. But maybe now Dolly threw with the shot far post, wide, and Crack didn't even touch it. Why is he waiting so long? Well, surely no, it's a save by Crack yet again. That was such a weird play, and somehow it ended up being good, but it hits the post and Crack then saves it. owopipi is getting so dominated. Yet another save. Let's see now. Sosa blocked by Pepe this one time, but then he lets him go again. Furia wasn't quite there. It's a double save by Crack as now Doliprun hits it towards him and Sosa went for the same corner and it's finally a goal for Gangshit. You could just feel it coming throughout the last 10 minutes, but they've scored and we've got a goal by Sosa and assist by Furia. Oh my god, they need so many attacks, but maybe now mode on one with the goalkeeper. It is a baton by SC30, so one of the players will be punished for 2 minutes. I don't think it goes in because the angling shouldn't really make it go in, and not a penalty with the current rules, of course. A great play there by Jekan, who allowed Modon to go on one-on-one. The shot wasn't ideal, but then it's kind of hard to judge because the goalie is a bit further than he was meant to be. So I reckon it was a decent shot, but it wasn't quite perfect off the post. Apparently SC is saying that he's lagging and posting a screenshot as well, but Doliprun says Sosa for the penalty, but then he's asking to look at the screenshot. Well, we have to wait for the decision. It seems like owopipi is not interested in any fair play for this baton. And Doliprun repeats Sosa out. Waiting for someone to do the command. Doliprun is the captain, so Sosa will be out despite the argues. Is anyone gonna do it? Thank you. And yeah, so now the game will be interesting, I reckon, because it is tied. So 2 minutes without him, but he will return before the end. Oh my god, what a corner that was! But, no goal, no shot, nothing came out of it. But look at this, Furia straight away pressing, and despite being men down, it is still Gangshit in the attack. So in this lineup, this is the 2 minutes of chance for owopipi. At the moment, none of the teams will get a power play. It's a beautiful double play from Doliprun and Furia, but it was just wide. That would have been a great shot by Furia, who seems to be the leader for the goal of the round 2, I believe. So possibly winning 2 in a row. Pepe trying to dribble, but then gets blocked by Furia, and Doliprun gets to back before him. Pepe and Jekan trying to combine, but it's not quite working. A reminder, 1 minute left before Sosa returns. This could result in a great counter as well. Modon looking for Jekan, but no success. Modon moved to defense, it seems, but yeah, now Pepe switches back. And he struggles to control the puck, but he does in the end, and it's 2-on-1. This is a good chance, but a bit too soon from Jekan, I reckon. And then Modon didn't know what to do as well. Modon to Jekan, surely now this is the chance, and he did not hit it as it's needed to. It was something in between of a shot and a pass. And if it was either to the side, whichever one he needed, that could have worked. But it went just between Modon in the post, as now Sosa will return perfectly to cover Modon as well. So that's good for Gangshit. Last 10 seconds for a goal for any of the teams, or we will be heading to overtime as Doliprun kind of goes behind the net, but then keeps it in play. Last attack now. There's Pepe and Modon just passing it on the wall, and it could be a beautiful goal, but the shot was a bit off target. So we will be heading to overtime. It was a close game in predictions, and now it shows it was right about it. Because we will need the extra time and possibly penalties before we find out who the winner is. As we wait for the teams to set up. A bit of a break, so let me check the league standings and how will this result affect them. So after the first two matches they've played, Gangshit won once in regular time and lost once in overtime to Rookies, which was a sensation, while owopipi won once against Cavaliers and lost once against Murciélagos. So owopipi is kind of getting the results you would expect, while Gangshit had a bit more interesting start of the season, you could say, as nobody was really expecting them to lose to Rookies. But then they've won against Wild Academy, so it's not like they've been tested by the team that conceded 25 goals in the opening match of the season. And that win wasn't convincing as well, only 4 goals, but they were nice goals, to be fair, especially the one which was nominated to the goal of the round. But we are starting the overtime, and Pepe is now subbed off. We are seeing Isco playing DM, Modon in the midfield, and Djekan as the striker, as the French team has not changed. Although it seems like they've changed positions, with Doliprun being high forward, and then Furia in the middle, but then they switched back, so I'm not too sure. I guess maybe it was just for one attack, but there's a pause by Doliprun, so okay, he's complaining about the lags. I was gonna say maybe they need to confirm the tactics, but we're back into the game right away. So yeah, maybe it looks normal. It possibly was just a temporary switch. So Doliprun at DM, Sosa in the midfield, and Furia as the striker. In case you don't know, in overtime is first team to score. However, it also has the regular time of 5 minutes. And if we don't see a goal by that point, we will be heading into penalty shootout. A bit of more calm start to overtime. Seems like teams are aware that our next goal could end the match. Decent play now by Gangshit, but Doliprun did not exit. Oh, and now if Furia didn't hit it, it could have been a one-on-one, but we can only rumor about it now. Doliprun will get to the first. Maybe now Sosa. Oh, he couldn't block himself from Djekan. Good cross, but Isco was there to block it. Modon looks for the shot. He finds it. Not sure if it was going in, but SC30 got a save regardless. Again, looking for the play that seems so obvious to me. And it got blocked yet again. Now Sosa but Isco ran high forward to block that pass. Halfway through the overtime. Only passing it to Sosa, but Isco is covering yet again. I don't think we've had a single shot except that attempt from Modon. Well, you could count this as a shot, but it's off target. So GKs didn't have much to do in this overtime yet. But maybe now, oh, it's a block by Doliprone, and it will be a counter-attack for Furia, who hits it down the middle for Krak to get yet another save. Jekan holding Furia back for a little bit, but it wasn't long enough, and oh my god, it's yet another miss by Sosa. Furia with that shot from the bottom to Krak, who gets a save, but kicks it right in front of his opponent, and Sosa for the second time does not make it in. He did score the goal, but other than that, it was a bit of disaster from him today. Final minute of the match. And if we don't see any of the teams score, we will be heading to the penalty shootout. And Gangshit has played overtime this season against the rookies, which they've lost. But maybe now Sosa one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he does score. And we get a second goal by Sosa and the second assist by Furia. It was a calm finish, waiting for Krak to move upwards to then hit it near post. So Gangshit gets the win and they get 2 points, while owopipi, despite the early lead and despite Krak making so many heroic saves, will have to satisfy themselves with 1 point only. And a little bit of other game news, because we also have Avalanche against Kotohokowski Academy playing right now, although I don't think it will be streamed. First 2 periods are done, and Kotohokowski Academy are leading 2-1. And it's not like Avalanche has a really different lineup, because it's the same 3 players who've played against Dostar Makani, Michkaj, Chris, and Setlox, with addition of experienced DM who is Lishko. So this could be the upset of round 4, because this is the match for round 4. And you can check the results further on the Discord. But this is it for the stream. So thank you very much for joining us for this beautiful game between owopipi and the Gangshit. And yet another game which ends up with 2-1 in overtime after golden goal comeback. So many interesting games this season. But we have to end it there. So